Hi, today I'm going to share with you a couple of my top tips and tricks on how to keep your makeup in place while wearing one of these. The mask is going to stay, so you might as well make the most of it. And I think the best way to do that is to emphasize the one part of your face that you can see, which is your eyes and your eyebrows. These are a couple of my tips and tricks on how to make your eyes pop and how to keep your makeup in place. My favorite tip is to use a fixing spray to apply my foundation. I find that really helps your foundation to stay put a lot longer than just applying it with a brush or your fingers. I like to use the W Beauty fixing spray. I'm going to use it with the QVS X sponge. And my favorite foundation at the moment is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. I find it as the longevity is incredible. You're looking at a 12-hour, 16-hour wear. And you need very little. So I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply it with the moist sponge, and you can really work it into your skin. You'll notice that I avoid this area of my face. I find that sometimes when you wear foundation plus your mask all day, you get tiny little breakouts. So it's kind of important to give your skin a break if possible. If you're going to be wearing a mask like I do all day, then just focus on the areas that will be exposed. Next, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Lid Primer. This is also a great way of keeping your makeup on all day. It really helps the eyeshadow stay put. And again, I'm just going to use a little bit of the fixing spray on a moist sponge and stipple it in. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of Bobbi Brown under eye concealer just under my eyes, just to brighten. You can even put a little bit on the outer corner, and this will just lift your eye. Again, I'm going to use the X sponge that's moist from the fixing spray and just work it in with my sponge. Okay, once you've brightened under your eyes, the next step is to use a translucent powder. I'm going to use the Clinique. It's very sheer and very light, and this is just going to make sure that your under eye concealer and your lid primer stay put. In between my steps, I like to spray with a little bit of fixing spray. I really do feel that that prolongs your makeup wear. I'm going to go for quite a subtle smoky eye for daytime, nothing too crazy, but just wearable. This is the nude palette, Natural Nudes from W Beauty. This is kind of my go-to because it's got the cooler shades, it's got the shimmery shades, the mattes, and the beautiful taupey shade. I'm going to take the taupe kind of color and use it in the crease of my eye. Once I have finished emphasizing the crease, I'm going to take a smaller eyeshadow brush with the same color and just go along the bottom lash line. Next, I'm going to draw in between my lash line with a W Beauty gel liner in dark brown and just smudge it out with my finger. Next, I am going to use my W Beauty fixing spray and just spray on a little angled brush. And this is the really cool thing about these little 9 palettes, is that if you wet the eyeshadow, especially with a fixing spray, it becomes a liquid liner. And I'm just going to apply this along my top lash line. Next, I'm going to take the shimmery highlighter and dot a little bit on the inner corners of my eyes. I'm going to take the same shade and dot it along my brow bone. You can also use this shade as a highlighter down the center of your nose. Okay, so the next step would be to apply your mascara. I like to keep my eyebrows last. It tends to take me the longest to fill them. I'm going to show you how to keep them in place so that they don't budge all day. I'm going to use the W Beauty fixing spray on a little piece of glycerin soap. As long as it's clear soap, any kind of glycerin soap will work. And I'm just going to spray it on the piece of glycerin and use a disposable brow spoolie and comb my brows into place. Okay, so now your brows are combed in place and they will not move. I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Precisely eyebrow pencil, and I like this one because it has a little spoolie on the end, so it's really easy to comb your brows up in between. And I'm just going to use a feathering motion and fill in all the gaps. Next, I'm just going to create a little bit of luminosity to my skin. I'm using the W Beauty Illuminating Stick just along the top of my cheekbone and brow bone. And your final step would be to set your makeup with the W Beauty Fixing Spray before you apply your mask. Let that dry completely and you're good to go.